To the ancient Greeks, the universe began as chaos, a violent abyss of raw energy and dark matter. Before there were physical laws, there was only the storm. In this primordial state, the world was a series of unexplainable catastrophes. Mountains shattered and seas rose without warning. For early humans, nature was not a cycle, but a sequence of random, terrifying events. This era was defined by the Titans. They were the literal personifications of these indifferent and destructive physical forces, gods who acted with the untamed volatility of a hurricane or an earthquake. In a universe ruled by random destruction, human survival was an impossibility. Civilization requires a degree of stability that the Titans, by their very nature, could not provide. Survival demanded a framework. Humans required a way to predict the behavior of the world around them, moving past a life of constant reactive fear. The Greeks didn't just need a god to worship. They needed a supreme cosmic administrator. They required a figure capable of imposing a rigid, systemic order on a hostile universe. The war between the Olympians and the Titans was more than a battle. It was a paradigm shift. It represented the moment systemic order suppressed the era of chaos. When Zeus claimed victory, he didn't just defeat his enemies. He imprisoned them in Tartarus. By securely locking away these personifications of random destruction, he removed the primary threat to the surface world. This chart illustrates Zeus's primary innovation. He broke the cycle of absolute dictatorship by introducing delegation, positioning himself at the head of a complex hierarchy. Zeus partitioned the physical universe. He assigned the sea to Poseidon and the underworld to Hades, giving his brothers distinct jurisdictions and structural weight within the new system. This expanded into the Olympian Council. Zeus established a functional oligarchy, where specialized deities managed every specific aspect of existence, from the growth of grain to the conduct of war. This shift from one-man rule to a decentralized hierarchy replaced the era of random violence with a structure where every natural and social force had a designated manager. Once the physical cosmos was stabilized, Zeus turned his focus toward the regulation of human society. The most critical tool in this social regulation was Xenia, the law of hospitality. Xenia functioned as a divine contract. It protected travelers outside the walls of their own cities, creating a sacred bond between host and guest. Zeus was the final guarantor of these agreements. While the lightning bolt was his symbol of power, his role as enforcer of oaths actually governed the daily interactions of the human world. Because Xenia made the mistreatment of a guest an offense against the king of the gods, it established a common security protocol. Merchants could enter foreign ports, knowing their hosts feared divine retribution more than valuing a quick theft. This shared religious fear allowed disparate city-states to trade and negotiate despite their mutual distrust. Zeus served as the supreme judge of a universal legal code. He was the invisible infrastructure that allowed a fragmented Greek world to interact without collapsing into constant internal violence. Under the reign of Zeus, the universe became a place of strict cause and effect. The threat of unpredictable monster attacks was replaced by a world governed by rules. This flowchart shows the binary nature of Zeus's justice. Breaking an oath led to systemic punishment, while honoring hospitality ensured societal stability. There was no middle ground. This belief system shaped the physical world. It influenced how cities were built, how laws were written, and how treaties were sworn. It is a mistake to think the Greeks invented Zeus merely to explain the weather or natural phenomena. The supreme god served a far more practical historical function. He provided an unassailable, divine justification for the fragile rules that held human society together. The ancient gods were not just campfire stories. They were the foundational systems and the essential architecture of early human civilization.